y'all, it's season 3 of the Be Your Own Kind podcast, and we humbly thank you for tuning in. Be Your Own Kind's mantra is there is never an inopportune time to be yourself. In other words, be you without apologies. In this season, I will be presenting nuggets and interviewing individuals that are creating their lane and rocking it. Be sure to check out the featured businesses in the description box and follow us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and pretty much every platform. Okay, now let's take flight. Well, hello, Stephanie. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to finally connect with you.
I know. It's been a little while, but we did it.
We did do it. You survived Black Friday, so.
Yes.
With all the sales and the wonderful things that we're about to talk about, trades of hope, provide and offer just for, I love the organization before we get into it, because I love the fact when I looked up the owners, they mentioned that when they were talking to women globally, it wasn't, people didn't want charity, they actually wanted an opportunity.
Exactly.
And I love that point of view, because a lot of people are like, well, they're impoverished and we're just getting, no, they want to work for their wages. They want to be a part of, like, in the game,
Right.
not just sitting on the sidelines. And I thought that was a really, a very good perspective, when I read it.
Yeah, and it provides dignity. I mean, nobody wants to be a beggar for life. That's not a job that you want. What do you do? Well, I beg. That's not a job you want. Description you want.
Right.
And so having a job, any job, provides a source of dignity. You can provide for your family. You can, pay fees for your children to go to school. All the things that we kind of tend to take for granted, I think, a lot when we're already in that position. But yeah, just having that sense of dignity and responsibility and owning it, I did this. It makes me think of Friends. So I grew up on Friends, and when Rachel gets her first paycheck, and she's sitting there and she's like, I did this, I earned this money, who's FICA and why is he taking all my money?
I ask that every other week.
Yeah. But that's what it makes me think of, you have a sense of ownership and pride when you've worked for it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about that, because we have these charitable events, but I feel like people still think away. You just want me to hand my money over to, so even though that's terrible thinking. Mm-hmm. I feel like that I've actually heard people say that, like, you just want to just my hard-earned money, you just want to just give it to someone else. Well, yeah, because there are people that don't have hard-earned money due to circumstances in life. So what will it hurt you? It pays, I guess in this case, if you pay to be kind, but it won't hurt you to give to someone.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and in this case, it's not a charity. So when you're buying things that are fair trade from any fair trade company, not just Trades of Hope, that's just who I happen to work with. But if you buy things from any fair trade company, you're receiving something in return. You're getting, whatever you buy, your earrings or your bracelets, the necklace you have on, your beautiful necklace. There's home decor. I've got art on the wall behind me from Mexico.
Nice.
That pillow, just things that are fair trade. You're receiving something in return. Now you may have to pay a little bit more for it because you're actually paying the worker what they should be paid
right
for making it. I tend to think, like, if I was doing this beadwork, or if I was making that necklace or that pillow or the artwork, what would I want to be paid for it? How much time? Like, what would I want to be paid? 30 cents for every piece of art I make? No.
Right.
No way. So why do I expect that from other people just because they're impoverished to begin with? Why do I expect to get something cheap? We got to pay them dignified work for what they're doing.
Exactly, and I think that's where I was trying to get at. Like, people just look at people a different way when they're in certain social, socioeconomic, like, parts of the world, or if it's just like people already have preconceived notions when they see certain people from different parts of the world or whatever the story. And I think And I think that bothers you because you don't know that person's story. And I don't think any of us have the right to look down on anyone. You know what I'm saying? We all have our struggles. And what that same energy that we would use to judge that person, we can use to help that person.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I think we went a little bit ahead. I know the audience is like, what organization are y'all talking about? So we're talking about the Trades of Hope. And Stephanie, could you please give us a quick rundown of what Trades of Hope is all about?
Yes, absolutely. I work with Trades of Hope, like she said, which is a fair trade organization. And we work with mainly women artisans around the world. About 80% of the artisans we work with are women. Artisans around the world who are working their way out of poverty and trafficking through job creation. So they make all of these beautiful things that we sell. And then what we do here in the States is just provide a market for them to be able to sell it. Because like I've been to Haiti several times, I've met our artisans there, and they don't have a market to sell what they make. So like my earrings are from Haiti, but they don't have people in Haiti who will buy the earrings, but people in America love them. So what we do here is just provide the market to be able to sell the products that they make, and then they can empower themselves out of poverty just by having a job, a dignified job.
That is super cool, super dope. How did you learn about the organization?
Oh, wow. I was a slow convert, I will say, because I'm a bargain shopper. I'm like clearance shopper all the way. If I could get a pair of pants for $4, you know, I was like, boom, I am all over that. So my mindset took a long time to shift to standing in a store and thinking, somebody made those pants and I wonder how much they got paid. Because if I'm paying $4, they probably got paid like pennies. So I was a slow convert because it was very ingrained in me to buy as cheap as possible. So a friend invited me to a fair trade party. She called it a fair trade party. And there were several different vendors there who had things based on the company that they worked with. And I was walking around and I was like, this is cool. Like, this is a neat idea. It seems a little expensive. I don't know. It seems a little pricey for me. I'm not sure I can handle this. But once I caught the idea, then, like I said, I'm a slow learner. So I did some reading, I did some research. By trade, I'm an accountant. So once I heard about the company, then I started doing a little more digging in like numbers. And so the numbers side of it made sense to me. Like, if you pay more for something and the person who made it actually gets paid more for something, then they can have a job and they can support their family. That makes sense to me, and as a way of leading people out of poverty. But then I did some more digging into the company itself, just to make sure that what they were saying was actually happening, because I'm suspicious like that. And just everything I found out about them. So it started off at a party at a friend's house, and then everything I found out about them, I just fell deeper and deeper in love with the company and their mission and everything. And so, I was like, how can I be a part of this? I need to be a part of this at this point. I need to be a part of this. So how can I do it?
Nice. And how, like, if someone is interested in being a part, how would they go about doing so?
Oh, it's easy, super easy. There's two different ways that you can be a part of. Well, there's lots of different ways you can be a part of it. I shouldn't limit it to two. We obviously need people to buy the products. So, we need people to be customers and just shop our wares. And I can provide a website and a link and go to it, have at it. We need people. So I met the person who introduced me to the whole concept and idea at a party. So we need people who will volunteer to like gather their friends and family together and say, hey, come listen to this. This is a cool idea. It's a neat concept. And we need people to host the party. Sorry, my camera just went fuzzy. Now it's back. And then we need people who will do my job as well and be the person who will go out and say, hey, look at this stuff that comes from all over the world. Everything has a story and a real person behind it. And I want to tell you about it and make you buy it. No, I'm just kidding. But
well, to support the women.
Yeah, to support the women. I tell people that I'm a storyteller. Like, I'm not a salesperson. I am not a salesperson at all. But I am a storyteller. And so I will get up and I'll share some of the stories of some of our artisan partners and then just let ladies have at it. And I can do that online. I can do it in person. COVID like shut things down for a long time, and I learned how to do it on things like this.
Right.
So I will talk to anybody and everybody who will listen to me about fair trade. And so there's two different ways you can do that. You can be like a full-blown partner, which is what I am, and have, try to organize parties and stuff. Or you can be what's called an affiliate and just wear and share. So if I wear these cool earrings to the Starbucks drive-thru and somebody says, awesome earrings, I say, thank you. They were made in Haiti by a lady who is able to send her child to school now because of these earrings. Here you go, here's my card. And then they go and buy the earrings, and that's a great way to do it too. So there's lots of ways to be involved.
Oh, okay. Word of mouth is always going to be one with marketing. Even with all this technology, word of mouth is still the most effective tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was my son.
Even this necklace right here, this is made out of paper. So I'm like, this is super cool. This is from Africa, right? Yeah.
That one is from Uganda, and that is made out of rolled magazines. So they cut the magazines in like this triangle shape, and then roll it up real thin on like bamboo skewers. And then obviously magazines would have lots of different colors, so then those are painted and varnished and everything to hold it. But yeah,
and this is super cool. You can't even tell that this is paper. Like, you cannot. When she said that, I was like, are you serious? This is so nice. Yeah, so this
is another thing I love. A lot of the groups that we work with use basically trash, or like they're recycling what they have and what things that they have available to them to make beautiful things. It's like turning trash to treasure. Like my earrings are made out of recycled aluminum. So they melted pop cans and things that they found, and they were made recycled aluminum. A couple of my bracelets, like this one is made out of recycled steel oil drums.
Oh, wow.
Are just kind of all over in Haiti because they're a little island, and things come to the island, but the trash doesn't really go off the island very well, So when they get gas, it comes in these really big 50-gallon steel oil drums, but then they don't have anywhere to put them afterwards. So they can do things like make bracelets out of them, or I should take this off the wall. This is gorgeous. Oh. This says peace, love, joy. I don't know if it's backwards for you guys. It might be, but this is made out of recycled steel oil drums as well.
Oh my.
Yeah, I love it. I just love that they were able to take something that was available to them that would otherwise be considered trash and turn it into something beautiful.
Oh my God, that's so innovative and creative. Like, and they're doing something that they love to do, and making like fair wages. So that's what I love about Trade Hope. Actually, when you were telling me the story, I'm just like, this is different. This is different. Like you're granting opportunities and you said some of these women were in trafficking, right? Like they were, sex trafficking. So you're giving them hope, and you've given them hope in hopeless situations, and I think that's pretty cool, and how do these women find Trade Hope? Like, how do you guys recruit artisans?
Our artisan partners?
Yeah.
That is a great question. So we are a fair trade company, which means that there's like 9 or 10 different fair trade principles that the groups that we work with have to follow. So I tell people, when you buy something from us, that it's the artisans were paid a fair wage. They were working in a safe environment. I mean, I've heard stories about women who are like chained to their sewing machine in Bangladesh, or so that I can have a $2 tank top. And I'm like, nope, not gonna buy those anymore. So they're working in a safe environment. There's no child labor. I mean, there's a whole list of things that have to be met in order to be a fair trade company. So, and artisan groups around the world, if they want to work with us, can fill out an application, but then we have to go and make sure that their group is following all these principles, because we are designated as a fair trade company. So we can't have like some groups that follow fair trade and other groups that don't, it's got to all be fair trade. So the artisans, they can fill out an application, but then we have somebody, his name is Lucas, and his wife Diana, and they're from India, and they travel around to all of our different artisan groups and any artisan group that we might want to bring on, and they make sure that all of these practices are being followed in that group. And the reason why Lucas and Diana go is because in some cultures, especially if we're working with an all-female artisan group, they won't talk to Lucas. Nobody will talk to Lucas, but they'll talk to Diana. But like women won't talk to him. So they both go, they work as a team, and they get the information they need. Or like Lucas will be talking to the managers, the people in charge, and Diana will go talk to the actual workers and be like, hey, are you being treated well? Are you being paid fairly? And she'll get like the dirt and make sure from the actual people that things are on the up and up. So I love that when I found out that they travel around, they visit all the groups at least once a year and make sure that everything is on the up and up, and we're not having the wool pulled over our eyes in some way.
Right.
But yeah, they just fill out an application, and we right now work with people in 19 countries, including the US. So we do have a couple of groups of ladies. All the groups that we work with in the US are ladies who are coming off the streets and out of trafficking or drug addictions. And they'll make some of like our bath and body products. So, yeah.
So even if some of the artists don't really know what they want to make or have any idea, you guys kind of give them ideas.
Yeah. So typically there's somebody in charge of the group, and that group will make a specific item. So, we have groups that make bath and body things. We have groups that make leather handbags. We have groups that make jewelry, groups that make home decor, or like this type of thing is a really specialized skill. I've actually tried this, and it's super hard.
It don't look easy.
No, so hard. Like you have to work at it backwards. And I couldn't even pound a straight line into the steel. I was like, this is hopeless. Forget it. I'll just buy it. You guys are really good at this. So yeah, so different groups will make different things. And then when we first started, we were kind of in charge of everything. Like we would help them know, okay, women in America will buy, these types of things. And now that we've been around for about 11 years and everybody's getting a little more experienced in everything, the groups are now starting to come up with their own designs, and they'll send, pieces to our home team, which is in Florida, and say, hey, how do you like this? This sample, how would this play out? And we're able to say, yes, that would be awesome. People in America would love that. Or no, try again. That's not, I don't think people are really going to go for that here. They may go for that where you are, but they're not going to go for that. So we do still offer a lot of advice on what we think will sell well, but they are starting to kind of own their group a little bit more and come up with designs on their own instead of us always providing the design. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, because that's a boost of confidence, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I got this. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. So how exactly does Trade of Hope get paid for this? Like, how do they survive? How do they sustain?
Well, it's a business. So like any other business, we will, we'll pay the artisans, we pay them 100% of their asking price.
Okay.
And some of the groups, we don't haggle, like we don't try to talk them down if they give us a price. We're not like, oh, it's a little too high. If that is what they need, because they know what the materials cost in their area, they know what they need to pay their workers, and they know how much they need to make to pay the rent, send their kids to school, have some for medical care in case an emergency comes up. There's just all kinds of things. Some of the groups I know have come from a sweatshop mindset. And so when we first started working with them, we actually had to work with them on increasing their prices. Like, you're not actually asking enough for your product. We can sell it for a lot more than that here in America. And you don't need to give us sweatshop prices. We want to pay you fairly. And so we would give them financial training on, make sure that you are asking enough to meet all of these basic needs, and you're not selling yourself short.
Right.
So we do that with all of our groups. We make sure that they're being paid fairly. And then, we work with 19 countries, so things have to be shipped then over to the US, which has been a huge problem this last year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Things are stuck on cargo ships and wherever, like, please let us have our products. So we just are kind of getting things out as they come in, which is not exactly as planned this last year, but it's worked. And so once it comes in and we've paid the freight and the tax on it for coming through customs, then we have to mark it up so that Trades of Hope can make a product, or profit, not a product. So we can make a profit.
Right.
And pay everybody here who is doing the distribution. Like me, I get paid for going out and selling a necklace or earrings or everything. So, but it's a business, not a charity. And so the difference there is that we pay the artisans 100% of their asking price. We pay 50% when we place the order, and then we pay 50% when we receive the order. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they are paid. We have, we could have 1,000 of these sitting in our warehouse. And if it is in our warehouse, then the artisan has been paid for it. So they are not waiting. Sorry, my camera. What if I turn on another light? Maybe that'll help me stay in focus. I don't know. But they are not waiting. I'm trying to get them focused. There
it is.
Okay. They are not waiting for us to sell their product before they get paid. So like I tell people, think about Target, things are sitting on the shelves at Target. The supplier of whoever made that is not waiting for Target to sell it before it gets paid, or before they get paid. So if we happen to put something on sale, like we did during Black Friday, we put a whole bunch of stuff on sale. And the first time I was around for one of those, I thought, oh no, like, does this mean that the artisans aren't being paid as much? But that's not how it works, because they've already been paid. If it's in our warehouse, they've been paid 100% of what they asked. And then we marked it up to make a profit. So if something goes on sale, then it's out of our pocket, not out of their pocket.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So okay, I'm an artisan and I'm just starting, but I don't have money for materials. Do you have like a startup program for those artisans?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so we can do like short-term loans to get them started, get it up and running, because they do have to buy the materials and have things ahead of time.
Right.
And that's part of the reason we pay 50% when we place the order. So that then they have the money that they need to go out and buy the materials that they need for the product. And then we'll give them the rest once the order has been delivered. But that's why we do it, so that they have what they need to get started and get going. But we do also provide short-term loans sometimes, or we'll do kind of fundraisers. Every once in a while, you'll see something, like right now, today, one started. There's 2 different ornaments that you can buy from Haiti. I'm talking about Haiti a lot, but because I'm wearing Haiti and I've been to Haiti, so I just I love Haiti. Anyway, there's 2 different ornaments from Haiti that if you buy, like, is today Monday? So it's Monday through Thursday. If you buy it Monday through Thursday, then $2 from every sale of those specific ornaments are going back to help buy Christmas dinners for the families in a school that we support and keep running. So they want each family to have like a Christmas dinner. And because prices in Haiti are crazy right now, I mean, everything in Haiti is crazy right now. Their president was assassinated a few months ago and the whole country just went nuts. And it has been for a while. So things in Haiti are out of control right now. So we're just trying to provide, there's about 40 families that go to this, have kids in this school, and it will cost about $40 to give them each a Christmas dinner. And so we're just trying to all work together. If we can sell these ornaments, then $2 from every sale of the ornament will go towards these Christmas dinners. And it's just fun. Like, so we'll have goals like that. So sometimes we're buying sewing machines for a group because they want to hire more ladies, but they don't have the money for sewing machines or something. I mean, it could be anything, but it's fun.
Always
fun to have a goal to work for.
It's always a great feeling to give. So not only do you guys, create entrepreneurs, you support different countries in different ways. Just by the sound of Haiti, when you say that you support a school out there.
Yes. So the Trades of Hope was founded by 2 ladies and their 2 daughters, so 4 women.
Okay.
All together. And one of the ladies used to run an orphanage in Haiti. And so this is how the whole idea and concept of Trades of Hope started. She used to run this orphanage, and she saw day after day after day, mothers would bring their babies to the orphanage to drop them off and say, I can't afford this child. I can't afford to raise this child. Will you take my baby? And after, she was like, but this is an orphanage. This is supposed to be for children who don't have parents. That was the plan. It's not supposed to be for children who have parents who can't afford to raise them. That was not the plan. Because taking a child out of their home and their family and putting them in an institution is not the best thing for the child. The child should be raised in its family. Right. And so, so she saw just day after day after day of mothers bringing their babies, and she started to think, there's got to be a better way. There's something different, that, like, the system is broken. I thought we needed more orphanages in Haiti, but we don't need more orphanages. We need more jobs. We need a way for these women to earn some money so they can keep their babies and that families can stay together. And so when the earthquake in 2010 hit Haiti, they just get blasted with one thing after another. There's earthquakes, there's all kinds of hurricanes, and it's just one thing after another. But after the earthquake in 2010, her orphanage got shut down, and all of the children that were in it were like simultaneously adopted into the US. And she thought, that sounds wonderful, except now that these children will never see their mothers again, who were still alive. It wasn't that they were parentless. They still had parents. They just couldn't afford them. And so she came back to the States and she thought, there's something different. There's a better way. And so she started to think about this idea of creating jobs. And so that's how the whole concept started forming in her mind. And then she got together with a friend and they decided, well, let's just see what happens. We'll start this and let's see what happens. So I kind of forgot what your question was. I got sidetracked.
I was just saying I was so interested in the story. What did I ask? I think I asked, what other countries do you guys help support or any programs?
Oh, right. Yeah. So, because we support that school in Haiti. Right, that's what it was.
Right.
So, the school that we help support, so we pay all the teachers' salaries and everything. So that was started as part of the orphanage when Gretchen was there. So she had an orphanage and then she started a school. So when they shut down the orphanage, they still kept the school running because that area of Haiti needed a school. And so they kept the school running. So we still support the school and we will do that. We also try to, with some of our give backs, support the communities that the ladies are working in. So I know a couple of years ago, we put a well in one of the areas of India that we worked, which was like a slum area. They didn't have access to clean water. There were, 14 people living in a house without access to clean water. Children were having to walk really far distances to carry water back in 5-gallon buckets, which means they couldn't go to school because they spent most of their time walking to get water and back. And so we dug a well, and put a well in that area. And that was a huge deal. We were so excited to be able to do that. So we love to be able to do things for our artisan groups in particular, but then if their community needs something as well, then we'll reach out. But we wait for the artisans to tell us that, like we could really use a well in this community. And that's not just for the people who work here, that's for everybody.
Right. I love that. I love everything about this.
I know. See, once you dig into it, it's like, oh, this is so great.
It's like women empowerment to the 10th power. Like, wow.
Yeah.
You support the family, support the village, support, where they feel unsupported and they're struggling, and it's like you're giving hope, you know.
Well,
back to what I said earlier, like you're giving hope to people that might not had hope at first or didn't know they were good at something, or they can make things with their hands and actually make fair wages, or people care about where they live in and care that their, the job practices are moral, or ethic, so wow, this is just a lot.
There's a lot of information. Yes.
Yeah.
I try not to go on information overload because I could talk forever.
But this
I've been doing this for 5
years. 5 years, you said?
Yeah, I've been doing it for 5 years, so I've learned a lot. And we see, I could keep going. So this year we're working with an organization called Elevate Academy, and they work with ladies who are coming out of trafficking, and it's an online school for ladies who are coming out of trafficking. And at first, so I wasn't as nearly as familiar with trafficking as I probably should have been. I thought it was something that only happened in other countries. It didn't happen in my state for sure. It didn't happen in America. It definitely didn't happen in my state, and totally not in my cute little town in south of Indianapolis. I've learned that yes, it happens in all of those places, especially in Indiana. We are the crossroads of America, and that tends to, promote a lot of,
we're dead smack in the middle. We're dead smack in the middle. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what Elevate Academy does and is it's an online school, and the lady who started it she was trafficked for 6 years, finally got out of it, and was able to start the school. And she said, I'm doing it online because if we had it in a location, only certain people would be able to attend. And it's everywhere. It's not just in major cities, it's in small towns, it's everywhere. And so she created this academy. So Trades of Hope is partnering with them this year, with our hostesses. It's something that they can work towards when they have a party. If they, hit a certain dollar amount, then we provide 1 day of free online training for a lady at Elevate Academy. If they hit another amount, we'll provide 2 days. If they hit another amount, 3 days. It goes up. So it's something to work towards and get excited about. And we know that, as we call it, a collaborative collective. It's kind of hard to say, but basically, as a group, we can do way more together than we could as a single person. So if I was saying, I want to donate days to ladies at Elevate Academy, well, I can only do, a little bit, maybe a couple of days by myself. But you put thousands of women working together who are going for this and gunning for it. And we have donated over 4,000 days since February. I think the number just came out today. It's 4,266 days or something. I mean, that's over 12 years worth for ladies to be able to go for free. Wow. And it makes me a little teary-eyed. I love it. Just all of our partnerships and every way that it's formed, you're purchasing items from a lady in Haiti, but you're making sure that she can send her kids to school and get medical care if she needs it. And then back here in the States, you are sending a lady through an online education course to help her get therapy, get her courage back, get her dignity back, and find some tools for herself so that she can get a job. I never thought about ladies in America who are coming out of trafficking trying to go out and get a job. Do you know how impossible that is? Like, do you have a record? Do you have a police record? Yeah, I do. Okay, well, not gonna hire you, So this gives them space to get a little bit of space from their record while they're going through this program, and then helps them get the job opportunities that they need and, figure out what they're good at and a career path that would be great for them. I just love it. Overall, I mean, it's just helping people everywhere so that I can have a pair of earrings.
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot to do a lot. It just takes genuineness and wanting to make a difference. So these 4 ladies just turned an idea into just a blessing to me, just a huge blessing to women that don't have support. You're supporting the unsupported. And I'm assuming when you are coming out of trafficking, you also have to kind of readjust yourself into the real world, because that's not the real world, right?
Oh yeah.
You have to readjust. You got PTSD. Even if you do have a boss, if your boss is kind of domineering, you don't know that can trigger something inside of you, make you intimidated. Your confidence is low. So I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
When you said PTSD, it reminded me. Well, first of all, let me just back up. For anybody who's interested in learning a little bit more about it, you can read a book by Rebecca Bender, is her name. She's the lady who started Elevate Academy, and her book is called In Pursuit of Love, and that will tell you her story. So it's just her story and the ladies that she knew. So it's not, everybody's story is going to be different,
right.
But it is powerful. If you're into audiobooks, I downloaded it from my library and listened to it, and she reads it in her own voice. And I just felt like that was really powerful. So if you want to learn some more about Elevate Academy, or her story, or just in general, everybody should read the book. I bought 3 copies and I've been passing them out to my friends. I'm like, everybody needs to read this book. Everybody does. Just so you have an idea of what's happening in America, because I had no idea it was happening in America. But when you said PTSD, it reminded me. So of our group that we work with in North Asia, they are also ladies who are coming out of trafficking in brothels. And we had a speaker come to one of our conferences one time, and she was telling us that she absolutely loved the way that Trades of Hope places its orders. And another thing I had never thought of before, she was like, I don't even know if you guys know this, who, you know, because you're just out doing the work. Do you even know how you guys place orders? And we were like, no. What's so great about it? And she said, what you do is you say, you know, I want 500 pairs of these earrings, but I don't want them all at once. I want 100 this month and 100 every month for the next 4 months. And she said, what that does is it creates sustainable work for our women. They know that they will have employment for the next 4 months. They know what they will be working on when they come in, which is really important when you have PTSD and you have trauma. You need to know, what is my day gonna look like? Like, no surprises, because surprises throw you off. So if I know that I can come in and for the next 5 months, I'm gonna be making this pair of earrings. That means my day is steady, my work is steady, and there's not gonna be anything thrown at me. I know what I'm doing. I don't have to learn a new skill. I can do this thing that I am good at. And then when we're done with those earrings, I'll learn the next earrings. But it's not like we're asking you to make, you know, several different things all at once. So we order, you know, 100 this month and 100 every month for the next 4 months. Gives them steady, sustainable employment. She said, because the last thing you want to do is put 30 women who all have PTSD in one room and say, we need to make 3,000 of these earrings. They're waiting for us. Let's go, go, go.
Right.
You know? And then the women get all rattled and then nothing gets done and everybody starts blowing up and yelling at each other. She said the other thing you don't want to do is put 30 women who have PTSD all in one room and say, I'm sorry, like, we made those 3,000 earrings that they needed, and so now we just have to wait. There isn't anything for us to do.
Right.
Then they blow, you know, like, then there isn't anything to do, and now they're going to blow up. And she said, so what you guys do is you provide small amounts, steady employment. We know what we're doing for a certain period of time, and it's wonderful. And the ladies can come in comfort and peace, because it's not huge orders and it's not, you know, it's not all at once or nothing.
It's sustainable. Yeah.
Steady. Yeah. I just thought, well, that's just another reason that I love Trades Out. But
you're like, I got all the reasons.
I know. They've thought through things.
Yeah, it's very intentional. Everything about Trades Out is intentional, and I love that. I love that. So I know you said you love Haiti, but what other country have you traveled to or state that you would say was one of your favorite trips or traveling journey?
Okay, let's see. I've been a lot of places, which was part of the reason, and not all of them related to Trades of Hope. So I was kind of a missions trip junkie before I got into this, because I didn't know any other way to help. I just thought, well, I'll go and I'll paint the church sanctuary. The thought never crossed my mind, why don't I just hire somebody local who could use the job to go paint that church sanctuary? Like, why do I have to pay $2,000 to go across the world to paint this sanctuary? Anyway, I was a missions trip junkie, I would say. So I've been a lot of places. So I've been to, and I've seen a lot of poverty. That was the other thing. Like, I'd go to all these places and I'd see all this poverty, and then I'd come home and be like, it's weird. Like, my toilet's still flush. My lights turn on every time I hit this magic switch. But I didn't know what to do about it. Like, there's
those little things we take for granted. Those are little things to us, but huge somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a huge disparity. And I would come home and it was like I almost had reverse culture shock. Like, why am I so lucky that I have all this stuff just because I was born here? Anyway, so I've been to, we work with a group in Costa Rica. I've been to Costa Rica. They're funny. They're not very tech savvy. So, like, you can send them an email and it may be a few weeks before they open it.
Sound like me.
But we're still working with them, but they don't have very consistent internet, so it's, you know, it's hit or miss. But I've been there. I've been to the Dominican Republic. We work with a group in the Dominican Republic of ladies, again, who are coming out of trafficking. The Dominican is one of the most highly trafficked countries in the world. And you wouldn't, I mean, it's like this big, but it's one of the most highly trafficked countries. So we work with a group there. They specifically work with ladies coming out of trafficking. And I've been to Peru, and we work with a group there. A lot of their stuff is, sometimes we'll have like nativity scenes made out of clay, and it's all hand painted and things. I love the stuff coming out of Peru, probably because I've been there. I've been to Haiti several times. I've been to Ghana in Africa. I haven't been anywhere else in Africa. I've been to Ghana, but we don't work with anybody in Ghana.
It's beautiful there.
It is beautiful. Although we went to a beach, and I was in charge of a bunch of teenagers, and I just kind of looked at the beach and I was like, nobody get in the water. Don't get in the water. I don't know what is in the water, but don't.
What's wrong with the water?
Well, for one thing, there were horses. Like, you could take horseback rides down the beach, which sounds wonderful, except that horses just poop wherever they want to. Yeah. And so every once in a while you'd see it, and I was like, don't don't get in the water. It sounds so romantic, doesn't it? But then when they poop, you're like, yeah, that killed it.
That's like with a carriage ride, though. It's like, in theory, it is romantic, but really, it's taking you forever to go around the block. And like you said, you can smell the horse like doing his business while you're on the road.
Right. It's not like you can potty train them. They're just gonna go when they need to go.
Right. So I mean, it's nice for a picture, but it's not really that enjoyable.
Exactly.
So here on BYOK, we have a staple question, and that question is: if you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be, and why?
One word. Empathetic, I think, would be my word.
And why?
And why? Well, my kids could tell you, I can cry at the drop of a hat. I mean, I should have been an actress. It does not take anything for me to cry. I have cried at Campbell's soup commercials. I can cry at anything. So if you started tearing up right now, I wouldn't even have to know why you were crying. I could start crying. I mean, I feel other people's emotions so deeply. And it's a blessing and a curse. Like, I can connect with people right away. Connecting with people is not hard for me. However, like, I was stupid, and I posted something in like my little community forum about, hey parents, I just want you to know, this book is being offered at the middle school, and it's got some stuff that you may want to know about in it, just to kind of let people know, because I've read the book. Oh my goodness, I got so much hate feedback from that little post. People were yelling at me and calling me a Nazi and wanting to burn books and everything. Like, I curled up in my bed and cried the rest of the night because I could like feel it coming through the computer, like the hate. But I can feel other people's emotions so easily that I would say that's my biggest word to describe me, as empathetic. I can feel it.
That is a gift. That's a gift. That is a gift and a curse. It depends on the energy.
Yeah.
On the energy.
It does.
Oh, I need them to chill out at the parent forum. I need them to chill out.
Yeah. I just have, like, I'm not even going on that page anymore. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Clearly they're on that page.
Just trying to say a little FYI.
Right, so you know what your kid is reading. So,
yep.
Yeah. So, where can people find you if they want to, join Trades of Hope or learn more about it or become an artisan? How can they reach you?
Yes, I have a website. It's really easy to remember. It's just www.tradesofhope.com/Stephanie Newsham. So that's my name. And I don't know if you have somewhere, notes.
It'll pop up. It'll pop up on the video. Yeah.
Awesome. There we go. So you can find me there. I have a group on Facebook. If you just look up Stephanie Newsham Trades of Hope, you can find me there. You can come join my group. And that's just where I'll tell like artisan stories, or I'll tell you what's happening. Or like today when they came out and said, hey, if you buy these 2 specific ornaments, we will be helping families earn a Christmas dinner. So I go on and say, everybody buy the ornaments. So you can find me there. I'm kind of an open book. That's the other thing about being empathetic. I mean, you can find ways on there. Shoot me a message on Facebook. I love that. I will write you back. Trust me. I will see it and I will write you back.
She will.
I will. So if you want to find me, I mean, there's 3 great ways. If I do my group page, just shoot me a message on Facebook, or go to my website, and I would love to talk to anybody who wants to know more about it. I obviously love it, and so I'm happy to talk, but I can be quiet as well and listen.
Anything else you want to add before we end?
Well, I just thank you so much for having me. It's fun. I enjoy every opportunity to be able to talk and brag on my artisans and how talented they are. My artisans, whatever. But, the artisans. And just thanks so much for having me on. And I hope everybody what I want you to walk away from this podcast and do is the next time you go shopping and you see, oh, that's a cute pair of earrings. Look, they're only $5. I just want you to pause for a second before you throw it in your cart and think, those are $5. How much did the person who made them get paid? Because the store is still making a profit, and they probably came from overseas, so there was tax and shipping and freight and all that stuff. So if I'm only paying $5, how much did the person who actually made this get paid? That's what I want you to do. That's the takeaway I want you to take from this, is just think. Just think about the person on the other side of whatever you buy, because there's somebody on the other side of whatever you buy. And were they paid fairly? Were they treated well? Just think about it. You can still buy the earrings if you want to. I'm not gonna, judge you or anything. I would just want that thought to go through your head. I wonder if this person was paid fairly if I'm only paying $5. If you say, that's fine. I still want them. My mom will tell me every once in a while. She'll be like, look at my earrings, aren't they cute? I got them at the dollar store. I'm like, sweatshop. And she's like, yeah, probably wasn't it? So, I mean, and I've been toting this for 5 years, and it's still not her first thought. She's like, look, I got a deal. These are cute. I'm like, sweatshop.
These are amazing.
So that's the takeaway I want everybody to walk away with. Just think before you make a purchase. It'll slow you down a little bit. Just slow yourself down just a little bit. It's okay if you still purchase it, but just slow yourself for just 30 seconds.
I think we can do that. Listeners, can you do that? I think we all can do that. Because I don't think of that. I just be like, yes, sell.
I know. I mean, that was totally me. Sometimes it still is. I'm not going to lie. I buy my kids' clothes at Walmart because they're going to grow out of them in 3 months. And I'm like, you know what? Sorry, whoever made this, you probably didn't get paid fairly, but I can't afford to buy everything on the up and up.
Right, but it's just the consciousness of it. There are people out there that are getting paid nothing, just so we can be comfortable.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie, thank you. Thanks for the perspective. Thank you I'm really happy to have met you, because it is a different perspective. Anytime I purchase something, I'm helping someone else. And that's kind of like, I don't know, nice altruistic feeling,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just thank you for your time, and thank you for letting us know a little bit about the trades of hope and opening our eyes to some of the things that are going on around the world that are going over our heads. We're just, whistling down the street or whatever. So, we're dealing with our own American issues, but it never takes time out to think about what's going on besides in our country,
Okay.
So thank you for that perspective and that awareness. And I hope, listeners, that you've learned something today. And I really, 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 really am asking you to check out the Trades of Hope. Check out Stephanie's website. It is such cool stuff, and it's cool stuff in hand, and you're supporting women all over the globe. So it doesn't get any cooler than that. So until next time, everybody, don't forget to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Until next time, bye.